Hello, hello. Hi. Hello. The following presentation has been problematized for the public eye and is not intended for entertainment or educational purposes. For this reason, this instance has been met with no approval, nor should it be given the chance. Please bear in mind as we proceed that this portion of the event has been disclaimed and is imaginary. Ready? Space! Chaotic chasm predicating all things possible. Cosmic zone exhibiting all that exists. 6 points radiating from a hidden central seventh, vented to the unknown beyond, tethered by celestial umbilicus, receiving and beginning.
Remember!
Yeah. Finding perch along its cardinal reaches is diving, divining Father Crow, inky, volant void, feathering pictureless atmospheres, cawing his fecund message of unbound fancy. Not especially, and in no particular order, his unheard cry gravitates without tension toward dimensionality. Prior to its materializing, before even the apparition's giving it suggestion, his sound is a fury of originality, a radical speechlessness unhindered by rhythms, an improvisation of ephemeral ebullience exposing the source of its source, a dynamic imagining unmaligned by scripture. The cry reverberates, cacophony elevates. The invaded space is equipped for definition, but is painfully depraved. If the call identify the secret center, in essence correspondent to the generative force, the bedlam may admit perfection. Entering this spagyric zone, the body of the work will be consigned to the planar matrix. The fire is extracted and introduced to our spirited axis, where it promotes circulation between zenith and nadir, collecting distilled vibrant energy for momentum. But alas, our horizontal space is inevitably corruptible, its ends open to every influence. A germ has introduced itself and undergoes regional manifestation. It is in resemblance of the unchaste, spurious rabble still to be sublimated, and the echo chamber is the site of its contaminant lordship. This malformation is ignorant not only of the intrinsic axis, but also of the causal crow call. It recognizes only its own preeminence over the confused circumference hemming it in. It applies itself to the environment, designing familiarity under vulgar umbrage. The arrested prima materia, guarded from inspiration, concretizes into dramatizations of the primal force and is catastrophically hurled into hypothetical being, introducing the dramatist and its rampant psychology of reflection. The extent of reality is now representative, a stadium marked with crafted cues. The spectacle is described. Its portraiture erupts a local identity, alienated from its sacred focus and in defense of its hardened capital. Alienation precedes commodity. Commodity necessitates value. Value implies utility. Utility demands appropriation. Appropriation achieves division. Division reveals disunion. Disunion caters illusion. Illusion enforces reification. Reification maintains drama. Laboring under imputation, burdened by vestment, the vital utterance goes unliberated and unprocessed. An agency of convention assembles to perform from within the shadows of neurosis. Carriages for dysfunction. The compass becomes fixed and withstands direction. In the image of the dramatic, the offspring of this immobilized flatland of portrayal draw their identities from fabrication. They are conditioned simultaneously as actors in the imposing psychodrama and as audience, in mirrored observance of phantom rehearsals relegated to platforms dimensionally deficient. But we want action, not actors! In revolt to this drama, a new public mode now is heralded. I lost my place. A new public mode now is heralded, channeling unscripted movement in defiance of expectation. It champions the poetic action, an action of convulsion tearing unreasonably through accepted motivation. These twinkling perforations, dotting manufactured consciousness, constellate and disperse liberally across the hanging, darkened big top, allowing access to sacred time and space. They permit the subdued psychic consciousness to leak through, energizing the vestibular central pillar. Unsettled, the impure demiurgic force reviews psyche for the origin of the disturbance. Failing establishment, vigilance is decided for healing and preventing the fissures. This devotion develops an office termed recuperation. The retaliation to this effort imagines mythic, mystico-symbological distractions of strangeness and charm, unlocking an excess of confusional wonderment, evading conscious scrutiny. Decuperation is often employed, whereby recuperated actions are redetermined. For example, art thou experienced? While you forget the question, forget this too, the protocol for home exorcism. Become thyself, vacate thyself, discard thyself. Lather, rinse, repeat as desired. This is not a dismissal of the individual form, but a productive betrayal of old positions and a renewal of transfigurative transpersonal potential. The presence we share is a very miracle, and the ultimate union of its forms is an unveiling of that miracle. And I have felt a presence which disturbs me with the joy of elevated thoughts, a sense sublime of something far more deeply interfused, emotion and a spirit that impels all things.